And Vanessa, if I could help a little bit, just to kind of frame this discussion around ELD, because it seems like there's a lot of interest in that. And I saw the page pop up that said, oh, we have these ELD standards, and those are for California, so just kind of ignore that. But I want to take any mystery out of what those ELD standards for California mean, and maybe this would help a little bit. We had a discussion this morning on a conference call with Gail Larson's region, in open territory. And I just want to help a little bit. Like the Common Core state standards for ELA are very defined. What California did was they adopted the California state standards for ELA, and those are their English language arts standards. What they did after that was they tasked a group to come back and develop ELD standards for our EL students that are derived from the Common Core ELA standards. So the ELD standards in California come from the Common Core ELA standards. They are just meant to enhance the ELA standards, and going back to your point, Ellen and Vanessa, to make the text, the core instruction, accessible to every single student. So the movement in California is away from pullouts and isolating EL students. They want the instruction for all students to take place in the mainstream classroom, whether you are, striving reader, EL student, or on grade level student. They want that to take place in the classroom. So this is in response to that call, and I think that there's a good story for us in open territory, and there's a great story for us in any district that identifies that they have a significant EL population in them, in their district, because these materials are now integrated into one core program with the intent that the instruction is taking place at the same time for all students in the mainstream classroom. I think that is a huge differentiator for us. And I think that that's something, Angela, we can go and run with in our presentations and really shine.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Don. I have another question here. Are routines in every TE? Yes. I'm assuming you're talking about these ELD things, Martin? Any changes to tabbing? Back up on the first slide. No, the answer is no. We still have 3 tabs in there, but I just put that on that slide to call out those 3 tabs because we don't have the small group tab. We don't have the assessment and practice in the back anymore. So I just wanted to call attention to the 3 tabs that we do still have, which are the research, the small group, and whichever I can't remember right now, but it's on this slide and I'm not getting out of it. I can't get out of it. I don't know why. Okay, so the answer is, did I answer your question?
I was also thinking of the vocabulary routines and all of those that were put formally in Unit 1 only.
Yes, that was the other tab. Yes, the routines. Routines, research, and small group.
Okay, great.
Any other questions?
The other one I had was whether close reading is visible within the units. You mentioned it's in the table of contents.
Right. That's when I was talking about not being able to touch every page. So you're not going to see labels that have been changed. Unfortunately, we couldn't do that. That's why we tried to add it in the unit matter or the weekly matter up front as opposed to touching every single page with labels. So I don't think that there are too many places on the insight pages that have been touched.
But for the teacher doing the flip test, they can see that label, because certain companies are experts at labeling but not having the meat underneath it. So we have it there, and they'll be able to see it as well. And I'd like to go back to the question that Martin had because I'm not sure of the answer. In the current teacher's editions, the best practices and brochure things, best practices and strategy things are only in Volume 1. Are they now in each of the volumes or still just in Volume 1, 2? I didn't follow.
I think they're just in Volume 1, 2. I'll have to double check that, but I believe they're just in the first volume.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Any other questions? Okay, so just as kind of a summary, what's new for grade 6, we have those academic talk resources flip charts. And remember, the grade 6 is the 3-6. We have foundations
Vanessa?
at grade
Vanessa?
foundations at grade K, grade 1, which covers K and 1, grade 2, which covers K2, grade 3, which covers K3 standards, and grade 4-6, which goes back to grade 2. We have now added placement tests. These are Lexile tests that determine where a student is starting their Lexile and where the student is ending their Lexile. This comes in a student version and a teacher's manual.
Hey, Vanessa, can you stop there for a second? I'm sorry for the questions. With the placement test, is this, I don't know how to say this, is this used more so as a benchmark? Because at K6, students would be appropriately placed in the grade level that they are. If they take that placement test saying that they are proficiency or placed should be in 3rd grade, we're not going to move them down to a 3rd grade class.
No,
I would
this
assume.
is for small group.
Strictly for small group placement.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Yeah, this is not like a reach where you're, finding your level. This is more of a where are the students reading. It'll help teachers determine small groups, that type of thing. And growth.
Perfect. Thanks.
We also talked about the new integrated ELD pages, 1 spread per unit, 1 spread per week. This gives teachers an opportunity, again, to make sure that if there is not a pull-out program, that these EL students are getting actual language instruction and vocabulary instruction as opposed to just skill instruction. We moved from 8 TEs per grade to 4 TEs per grade, which now is in a separate assessment book, separate practice book. We just talked about the integrated ELD and new TOCs at all grade levels that include Lexiles and close reading. So that's basically grade 6 in a nutshell. I want to remind everybody that this comes out in the warehouse in August. I've been talking to Dawn trying to see if the SE will have a different date, just because I think it will be easier to move into the SE than the TE with all the changes, but I have not heard back yet. I don't think they'll know for a while. So when I find anything out, I will certainly let you know. We are working on, I've already done the book map for the grade 6 TE sampler. Like I said, it's unit 3. So we're waiting on getting that started, and hopefully we'll have that out in the next month or 2. We will also have new Reach for Reading brochures. The Reach for Reading brochures will be different than what they are now, and will now be K6 brochures. So be looking for that. That's getting started very soon as well. And that's basically what we're doing right now. And also a visual index for grade 6 is well on its way. That should be ready soon. So that's where we are right now. Any changes to the digital resources and accessibility? It is my understanding that what we have for grade 5 is exactly what we have for grade 6. How grade 5 works is how grade 6 works. This is still MyMG Connect, so it will still have the same accessibility, and it will have all of the same things that you know as of now for the other grades.
Vanessa, excuse me, this is Angela Shields. Is there a time frame, or what's the time frame rather, for grade 6 to be integrated into MyMG Connect once it actually launches in the fall?
That's a good question, and I will find out, but I know it's sooner. Well, I don't know if it's sooner than August, because they need finished TE pages in order to get it done. So let me find out, and I will email this group back.
Vanessa, this is B. Just a quick
question. Thank you so much.
Sorry, Angela. The academic talk resources, is that based on Kate's Kinsella's model? What is it based upon?
Well, it's basically no. The answer to that is no.
Okay, it's no.
It's basically sentence frames that we've seen, like in the inside TEs, and some of them are in the routines in the TEs previously. They're basic sentence frames that are put now on flip charts for students to have discussions, because obviously with EL students, talking is the most important thing. have discussion with these students, give them sentence starters, give them sentence frames, and talk in a way that they are learning to speak English correctly, grammatically correctly, and just having discussions. It really is just a small group way for teachers to sit with EL students who need to develop their language and gives them ways to start their sentences.
And also this is Ellen. Vanessa and I have heard from teachers that they absolutely love language frames, and this also came about from visits into classrooms to see where teachers have had language frames up and around, and Nancy Fry is a huge advocate of language frames. So we decided to add this to the program, not only because of research, but because of Nancy Fry and also from what teachers have told us. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. It's a wonderful addition. I think it's fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, it is. It's fun.
Yeah.
And Vanessa, this is the other Angela, and I think I may have just missed it, because I think you said that the components that are in the other levels are still there. So this academic talk flip chart is not taking the place of the cross-curricular and the language literacy flip charts, correct?
Correct.
They are still there.
Correct. And this is, like, those flip charts are for the whole class. I mean, not at once, obviously, but they're for everybody.
Right.
This is really specific to students with language needs.
Perfect. It looks great. I'm excited.
Well, good. I'm glad. Yeah, it is exciting. It looks great. The stories are beautiful. The images are beautiful. You're going to have all of the same things that you had in 5th grade online with the background videos and the images for vocabulary words. So you'll have a lot of great things to show. And these new additions make it even stronger. And hopefully we'll get it out the door soon and you guys can get to selling it.
Woohoo!